Hey guys, happy Friday. So it is Reflection Friday, and it's a time when I take time back to look at the week, look at maybe the different accomplishments or the things that, I learned in this week. And I have my husband here today because my Reflection Friday has to do with something that we normally do together and some words of wisdom that he dropped on me a couple of days ago. And so I just really wanted him to share what we were talking about.
Yeah, I don't know about the words of wisdom, but what we like to do every day is on our way to work, we like to pray together. And we usually ask each other, what's your prayer request and what's my prayer request? And we'll pray corporately. And I think that's important for us. But there was a prayer we had, and I don't even remember really what I said because just kind of focusing on getting to work alive, make sure I don't get into an accident.
We pray on the way to work.
Yeah, and it's on a hands-free, car speakerphone. So
gotta fit it in.
For those of you who are like, oh, you guys are, whatever. But whatever I prayed, she picked up on it, and it was something to the effect of any type of team or anyone working together for a common goal. If it's worth chasing after, there's going to be some struggles. Right. We're going to have to go through some things, but sometimes what we do in teams is that we feel like it's a competition with each other. And even though we're all working for the same goal, we're struggling alone. Right. And the prayer was that no longer would we struggle alone, but we'll struggle together for the same cause.
Yeah, and it's not even, you could look at it from a team mentality, but like I was kind of really receiving it as an individual. Like, we have different struggles, we have different things that we're trying to accomplish. Why do it by yourself? Like you don't have to do it by yourself. You don't have to fight against each other. You don't have to be in competition, but we're all going to have some type of struggle. Why not do it together? Why not work through it together?
Yeah, if you're going to have to go through it anyway, why not do it with somebody else who's going through the same things? You guys are going through the same struggle. Why separate yourselves and double the struggle as opposed to just bringing it together, putting your minds together and your ideals, and really pressing forward.
Right. Yeah, so it was really good for me. And then he said something else about, that was the other thing. So we were praying about the event that's happening on November the 10th, the When Passion Meets Purpose Conference.
Get your tickets.
Be sure to get your tickets. They are going. Thank God. They're going. But I was praying about that because, as the facilitator and as a planner, you have a list of things that you have to do and you have to prepare for, and just wanting to make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted, and you can start putting like a lot of pressure on yourself, pressure to make numbers, pressure to present things in a certain way, and just to make sure that,
there's an overall success of the event.
Right. So we were praying about that, and again, he was dropping some nuggets of wisdom and he was just reminding me that, God is going to do what he's going to do regardless. Right? You want to expound on that?
Yeah, I think from what I remember about it was that a lot of times when we try to plan for something, or we're believing for a move of God, or we're believing for an impact on someone, we want God to be or to move in what we're doing, or we want him to be a part of what we're doing, when in all actuality, whether we were to do what we did or not, God is going to have his way. Either way, regardless of what we do, God is going to move in the way that he wants to. So we should really take a standpoint of not God being a part of what I'm doing, but just for me being blessed to be a part of what God is doing, and doing everything I can so that I can give God my best and work in excellence, work in spirit and in truth, so that I can be a part of what he's doing in this world.
And it relieves so much pressure from you.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, the weight is not on me. It's not on me.
Right.
I'm just creating the space. I'm creating the space and giving the opportunity, and he's going to do what he's going to do.
Yeah, because it's not about us.
Right.
It's not about us, and that takes the pressure off of it being about you. And that's where you talk about humility. That's where you talk about reverence, and God, being above, so you can be made low, so that God can be above.
Right.
And I think it's important for us to see life like that. Like we are in this not for God to be a part of it, but so that we can be a part of what God is doing.
Right.
And we're blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because sometimes you think of pride, even when you were saying that, sometimes you think of pride as being like, well, I'm thinking like, I'm boasting about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But pride can also be you're trying to do everything in your work and in your power and giving yourself credit for the outcome, the input, like the results, like how everything lays out.
Right.
And you don't, I didn't even consider it that way, but you can.
Pride is not always out in the open. It's not always outwardly boastful, but there is a secret pride as well, where you secretly put pressure on yourself as if it's out of your power, out of your will, when it's not. There's a scripture that talks about one person planting a seed, and the next person watering it, but it's God that causes the growth. Neither the planter or the water causes it to grow. It's God who ultimately does it. So it's not about us. It's not about you.
So for everybody out there, I was completely set free on that day because I was just like, I got all this stuff to do. But for everybody out there who's who's doing something, who's putting their hands to the work, whether it be a business, whether it be a hobby, whether it be just some personal goals that you're trying to reach, be encouraged in knowing that you don't. It's not just in your strength alone. You don't have to wear the weight or the pressure of that thing happening. You just need to show up.
Yeah, just plant the seed. That's all.
Right.
You don't have to worry about anything else. Just plant the seed.
All right, guys. So that was this week's Reflection Friday. I hope that you guys have a great weekend, that you are mindful of that, as you're going forth in the things that you're doing, and you relieve yourself from some of this pressure, that we tend to place on ourselves. Yeah. Any last words?
No, that was it. I'm proud of my wife. She's doing some amazing things, you guys. So make sure you continue to support. Make sure you continue to spread the word about her. I believe that God is going to take what she's doing and just really blow it out of anything that she ever thought was going to happen or I thought was going to happen. So we're just glad to be a part of it.
Thank you. And check out our podcast. We have a podcast called Learn Together, Grow Together.
Learn Together, Grow Together.
Learn Together, Grow Together. And then, of course, my podcast, Tisha Talks Topics. And also his music group, Nikeo Music. Check them out as well. At Nikeo
Music.
Yes.
Album is out now.
Right. 3 a.m.
3 a.m. is out now. iTunes, Google Play, all that.
3 a.m. So
also Tisha's book, Second Chances.
Oh, right. Yes.
So God is doing some good things. Now that we're talking about it, I'm like, wow. God is doing some great things. And like I said, we are blessed to be a part of what he is doing. So
definitely. All right. When passion meets purpose, great things happen.